Welcome to this session on document grounding. We'll explore how to leverage document grounding and its managed data repositories to improve large language model response and ground the results with your organizational context. In this session, we'll explore SAP's document grounding service under the Generative AI Hub on SAP Business Technology Platform. First, we'll begin with an overview to understand what document grounding is, why it's important, and how it simplifies retrieval augmented generation implementation. Next, we'll cover the prerequisites to set up and use the service. Then we'll move on to key choices and guidelines to consider when configuring your grounding repository, metadata, and orchestration settings. Finally, we'll look at the implementation steps connecting enterprise data sources like S3, SharePoint, or document management, and how document grounding integrates into AI orchestration workflows. SAP Document Grounding is a fully managed service that simplifies how enterprises implement retrieval augmented generation and their AI applications. Traditionally, building a retrieval augmented generation pipeline requires developers to manage multiple steps manually, connecting to data sources, breaking documents into chunks, creating embeddings, and setting up retrieval mechanisms. With document grounding, all this complexity is abstracted away. You simply connect your enterprise data sources, for example, Amazon S3, SharePoint, SAP Document Management Service, SAP WorkZone, or an SFTP FTP file server, and the service automatically handles everything from ingestion to retrieval. It also refreshes content periodically and automatically when documents are uploaded in the source system. This makes it an ideal choice for organizations that want to deploy AI-powered assistants or copilots that are trusted enterprise data, without the burden of managing the underlying infrastructure. Now that we've seen what document grounding does, let's understand why it matters and its key benefits. Document grounding helps organizations accelerate adoption of retrieval augmented generation without investing effort and custom data and vector pipelines. Its architecture is simplified and fully managed, allowing teams to focus on building business use cases rather than infrastructure with plug-and-play connectors. You can onboard enterprise data sources like S3 or SharePoint in minutes, making integration both quick and reliable. The service is built to handle large-scale document repositories, providing consistent performance and automatic lifecycle management from ingestion to embedding refresh. And because it's operated entirely within SAP's managed environments, you benefit from enterprise-grade security, governance, and compliance out of the box. For scenarios that need deeper control, the Vector API allows developers to fine-tune chunking, metadata, and ingestion processes, extending flexibility while maintaining managed service benefits. In essence, document grounding offers the speed of automation with the control and trust that enterprises expect from SAP to have better understanding of document grounding service. It would be beneficial to understand some of the concepts. Retrieval augmented generation is a process that retrieves relevant information from external knowledge sources to generate accurate responses on an LLM. Embeddings are basically the numeric representation of text and images into a high-dimensional space, and now are generated by embedding models. Generating these embedding vector models preserves semantic similarity. Hence, objects having similar meaning are positioned close to each other and the high-dimensional space. Chunking and retrieving augmented generation is an important aspect, and in this process of splitting large text into smaller segments known as chunks. Managed connectors are pre-built connectors provided by SAP to integrate data sources such as S3, SharePoint, or document management without custom development. Let's look at where document grounding really shines. In invoice validation, it can cross-check invoice data against purchase orders and goods receipts to ensure consistency and compliance for risk and compliance teams. It can summarize lengthy regulatory documents, extracting key obligations and exceptions. Legal documents can use it for contract clause extraction, identifying specific terms such as payment timelines or liability limits. In corporate operations, employees can use it to query internal knowledge bases, such as standard operating procedures for HR handbooks, in natural language, getting contextually accurate answers. And finally, within SAP applications, document grounding enables AI copilots to provide contextual assistance such as retrieving company policies or guidelines directly within user workflows. These examples demonstrate how document grounding serves as the foundation for grounded, reliable, and secure generative AI within enterprises. Security and compliance are critical for any enterprise AI implementation, and document grounding has been designed with that principle at its core. All operations, including document processing, embedding, generation, and retrieval, take place within your own SAP BTP tenant, ensuring that no data leaves your managed environment. Each customer has isolated storage for embeddings and metadata, and no content is ever reused or shared across tenants. Sensitive credentials, such as an access key for SharePoint or S3, are securely stored in SAP AI Launchpad as generic secrets, encrypted at rest and managed via the UI or APIs during runtime. The AI Core Orchestration Service also supports masking and filtering to protect personally identifiable information for data reaches all of them. Because the service inherits SAP's enterprise certifications like GDPR and ISO 27001, customers can confidentially adopt it while meeting their compliance requirements before implementing. Let's cover the prerequisites needed on SAP Business Technology Platform. Well, you'll need an SAP AI Core service with the extended tier on SAP BTP to enable generative AI Hub access. SAP AI Launchpad to configure models within Gen AI Hub. Pricing information on all these services are available in the linked resources. Next, let's ensure that your data repository, whether it's S3, SharePoint, or SAP DM, is accessible and that you've stored the credentials securely in Launchpad. To provide more context around these prerequisites, SAP BTP is an integrated suite of cloud services, databases, AI, and development tools that enable businesses to build, extend, and integrate SAP and non-SAP applications efficiently. SAP AI Core is a managed AI runtime that enables scalable execution of AI models and pipelines, integrating seamlessly with SAP applications and data on SAP BTP. It supports full lifecycle management of AI scenarios. SAP AI Launchpad is a multi-tenant SaaS application which helps customers to manage their AI use cases and associated lifecycle across multiple different AI runtimes. Once your environment is ready, you can proceed to create repositories and pipelines directly from the Launchpad UI or programmatically using APIs or SDKs. Let's examine the high-level reference architecture for implementing RAG-based applications on SAP BTP using document grounding. The diagram shows the complete flow from end users to foundational models, starting from left and end user access to SAS service after successful authentication from Auth and Trust Identity Authentication Service. This SAS service is hosted in BTP runtime for embedding model access. The application leverages Generative AI Hub, which is a central component of this architecture. Generative AI Hub provides the capabilities and a toolset to build and manage any AI workflow with a unified layer of accessing different large language models. These other large language models are hosted by SAP and our partners under enterprise agreements. At the right side, we have the data sources such as S3, SharePoint, or secure FTP connections to manage connections of document grounding services. The document grounding service handles document ingestion, chunking, embedding, creation, and vector storage automatically. The AI Core orchestration manages processing pipelines, while the AI Launchpad serves as the central interface for configuration, secret management, and monitoring. Finally, through the Generative AI Hub, your applications can access these grounded repositories to generate context-aware responses using foundational models. This architecture ensures secure, controlled, and efficient access to AI capabilities while maintaining integration with the broader SAP ecosystem. Let's discuss some key decisions that impact the quality and performance of your document grounding. A data repository, also called the collection, is the foundation of your grounding setup. It acts as a bridge between your enterprise documents and the retrieval service. You can create it using AI Launchpad, the document management pipeline API, or the SAP Cloud AI SDK, depending on whether you're managing things through the UI or scripts. Always assign a meaningful name to each repository so it's easier to track and maintain across projects. For document storage on Amazon S3, remember not to include a subdirectory path when you're planning to use metadata. The service currently doesn't support both together. If you want fine-grained control over the document processing or want to upload documents programmatically, you can use the Vector API for direct ingestion. You can use any of the chunking strategies of your choice based upon your requirements and ingest those into the document grounding repositories along with corresponding metadata. Finally, after ingestion, refresh and validate the repository to confirm all documents are successfully processed for your downstream AI applications. Let's look at the 3 core areas that define how your document grounding setup works. Metadata management, grounding, configuration, and orchestration. Starting with metadata management, when you use the Vector API, metadata can be attached directly to each chunk during ingestion. This metadata, such as document title or category, helps improve retrieval precision for S3, SharePoint, or secure FTP. A metadata server must be hosted separately to maintain a mapping between document paths and their metadata entries. If you're using SAP Document Management Service, or DMS, this setup isn't needed. DMS handles metadata internally. Moving to grounded configuration. Here you can define your repository IDs, retrieval parameters, and any filters. Adjusting values like topic documents or chunk size helps balance performance and accuracy. You can also add metadata-based filters to limit retrieval to specific domains or context types, ensuring responses are relevant and focused. Finally, in orchestration, you can join multiple repositories, even including SAP Help as an external source. The orchestration service acts as the runtime engine, invoking LMS dynamically while applying safeguards such as masking, filtering, and translation. This ensures the output remains both secure and contextually grounded in enterprise data. Let's discuss implementation guidelines for selecting your programming model for backend applications. We recommend using Python, which has a very well-maintained SDK and a very robust ecosystem. For working in Java and JavaScript-based enterprise environments, there are corresponding SDKs available to provide a solid foundation for grounding and AI model interactions. While these are general best practices, the final choice should align with your team's expertise and project requirements. Now let's explore the specific implementation options for each programming model. We've broken down the resources by programming language: Python, JavaScript, or Java. For Python developers, we recommend using the SAP Cloud SDK for AI Python for building your applications. This SDK is specifically designed for leveraging generative AI models available in the AI Hub. Additionally, the SAP AI Core SDK and AI API SDK are available for managing the AI Core lifecycle. For reference code, we provide you with an exact code sample, but you can also check the other reference examples. For Java developers, the SAP Cloud SDK for AI for Java is available. Similarly, for JavaScript, the corresponding SDK is also available. For reference code, we suggest you please refer to the sample code given in the SAP tutorials for each programming model or language. We provide the recommended learning journeys that walk you through the implementation process. All these resources are linked, and we encourage you to explore them based upon your preferred programming model. Each option is fully supported within the SAP ecosystem, providing secure and efficient access to generative AI models, while maintaining the flexibility to choose the approach that best suits your team's skills and project requirements. This section lists all the reference code samples and technical setup guides that you can use to implement SAP document grounding in your own environment. We are providing a complete set of Python notebooks under the SAP Best Practices repository. These cover end-to-end document grounding workflows for different data sources, or Amazon S3. You can either use the SDK-based approach with the document grounding, S3, SDK, notebook, or call APIs directly as implemented in the document grounding S3 API notebook. If you prefer to upload embeddings or pre-train documents manually, the document grounding vector API notebook demonstrates how to perform direct vector ingestion using the vector API. In addition to the code, we've published SharePoint-based step-by-step guides for connecting each supported data source. These include dedicated instructions for SAP Document Management Service, SharePoint, SAP WorkZone, and secure FTP file servers, covering everything from authentication setup to pipeline creation. Finally, there is a document grounding API collection available on the SAP API Business Hub to work with document grounding. These APIs let you create, manage, and query repositories and pipelines using APIs, which is useful for automation or integrating grounding into custom applications. Together, these resources serve as a complete technical toolkit combining ready-to-use sample code, guided setup, documentation, and API-level integration capabilities to help you implement document grounding efficiently and correctly across multiple enterprise data sources. The best practice guide reflects the collective expertise of AI specialists from across SAP, bringing together insights to support your journey. Thank you for watching this session. We hope the information provided helps you successfully implement advanced API capabilities in your business application.